today I thought I would do a Wild Wonder Wednesday. Yeah, look, scraping at the bottom of the barrel for great puns, but anyway, we are there. So, our Wild Wonder Wednesday, we're going to talk about how a milkman can tempt us into exercising more. Sounds a little saucier than what it actually is, and what I'm actually going to talk about is an interesting study that I've come across in some of my weekly readings, and this is about some research that was done in 2014, so 8 years ago, I guess now. And the milkman part comes from actually the scientist, Dr. Katie Milkman, who's a researcher, or at least was, I presume still is, a researcher at the University of Pennsylvania. Yeah, she's published a very interesting study on exercise. One of the findings, for example, was that participants who could only listen to a certain compelling audiobook, so I don't know, think of like the Harry Potter series or something like that, or something that people really want to listen to or read, when at the gym, exercised up to, well, actually, on average, 51% more frequently than those that weren't given the compelling audiobook. And then, interestingly enough as well, people who were given the audiobook but simply encouraged, not required, so they could listen to the audiobook whenever they wanted to. They could listen to the gym and exercise, but they actually ended up still exercising 29% more frequently than those without the audiobook option, which is pretty fascinating, right? Now, there's a few other stories or plenty of other details around what this went into, but I don't want to be here, going through and rehashing a research paper. So, anyway, I'll continue. So, so the interesting thing is as well, right? So this approach of having an audiobook was called temptation bundling. And that's because what we do is it bundles a want, like listening to a compelling novel that we can't put down, with a should, like go to the gym and exercise. So basically what it does is it takes something that you don't really want to do and something you really want to do and combine them both together. And therefore you're more likely to do it, right? And so according to Dr. Milkman and her team, she sort of said that this pairing makes should activities feel more enticing and therefore more readily to be executed. And the other interesting part that she notes as well is that it makes the want activities, like reading or listening to the compelling novel, feeling like a less wasteful activity and less guilt-inducing. So people didn't feel guilty for spending, an hour or so listening to their favourite novel where they might do at home. For anyone who's done a bit of a Netflix binge or anything like that, when you've got chores to do, probably understands what that feeling's like. So, yeah, I guess talk about a win-win, right? So you could either just exercise or you could waste time on the couch watching Netflix or listening to your favourite podcast or whatever, or you could do it whilst exercising. And to be honest, that's exactly what I do when I have to do a lot of cardio. Leading into comp prep, I usually catch up on my favourite Netflix show or listen to an audiobook or a podcast. So I guess, a lesser-known secret to making working out at the gym a more enjoyable and fun habit is to just create a simple rule for yourself, which is, I'll only let myself enjoy my favourite TV show or audiobook or podcasts on my smartphone when exercising. And you might find that, you get to the gym a little bit more often, which is something that's quite useful when, particularly if you're based in Perth at the moment, it's pretty cold. So getting out of bed in the morning to go and do some exercise isn't that great. But if you've got something that you can go and look forward to doing, then maybe that will help. I guess the other thing is as well, I'm just having a look at some more details of the study from my notes here. So yeah, the study was actually gym visit data that was taken for about 6,000 members from a 24-hour fitness gym. This is part of it as well. And then basically, they could actually, when they actually did a particular type of exercise, they actually got Amazon Cash as redeemable every time they hit the gym. And so what they did with this is that when that happened, and they also bundled this with the audiobooks. They had 3 groups. So there was some groups that were given the free audiobook when encouraged, and so they were like more about 10% to 14% more likely to hit the gym every week than those that didn't get the audiobook. And then what's really interesting as well is that once that 12-week study actually finished, 17 weeks after this program ended, they were still actually continuing to do that habit. So it became an embedded habit for them. Must have been a very long audiobook, or hopefully they found another one. But yeah, so it can actually work to create more sustainable habits. So if you're finding it itself difficult to get to the gym after dark, or again, if waking up in the morning, then perhaps binging on your favorite Netflix series or something like that might be the way to get you there. All right, I hope that was helpful. That is our Wild Wonder Wednesday. So I guess the other question is what show or audiobook are you going to listen to next, and are you going to incorporate that with exercise, whether that's walking outside or going to the gym or some sort of other activity that you don't want to do? Comment below and let us know how you are going to do your temptation bundling.